Greetings and salutations. My name is OJ as always, and so early into my career, I didn't think that I would be making an apology video, but here we are. For those unaware, a couple days ago, released a new video in my DBD-a-thon series of videos where I go over every single killer in Dead by Daylight, and I coincidentally got to Pinhead. I made a video on the Pinhead, a character that is no longer in that game, and in that video it was a day before the supposed reveal of a new Hellraiser game, and in that video I spent a lot of it complaining about asymmetrical horror games and all of the different licenses that popped up and tried to make their own ones and then just died off. And I said, the Hellraiser game is just going to be another asymmetrical horror game. It'll be popular for 2 months and then die off in 10 months. And I went on a very long rant about it. I say very long, it was about 2.5 minutes, right? On my own birthday, I was proven wrong. It was my birthday yesterday, yeah. I know, let the wishes roll in, but yeah, on my own birthday I was proven wrong. I open up my phone, I look at Twitter, and I see Hellraiser single-player horror game. I look like an idiot, and the worst part is that video ended up getting more traction because of the reveal. Yeah, okay, so I've come to apologise. I've come to apologise for my slander to the game before it was officially revealed, and you know what? As not come up as like a what should we call it? An apology per se. I'd like to kind of have a look at the trailer itself, give it a little bit of analysis and stuff, because I'm gonna be real. I've watched the trailer myself, obviously, and from the bits of gameplay we get, which is like 30 seconds, it looks really good. Like, this is a genuinely really good looking game. Like, obviously we're not going to know what it's like till it comes out, and we don't know what the story's like, which will probably be a big part in it, but all things considered, the gameplay itself that we've been shown looks pretty good. Reminds me a lot, sort of vibe wise, the way the animations are done, the way it looks, reminds me quite a lot of Outlast. It kind of looks like if you took Outlast Trials and turned it into a single-player game, and that's not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. I love Outlast Trials. I love Outlast. I love the way that company, is it Red Barrel Studios? Yeah, the way they've sort of interconnected all of the lore of their games into one is really, really cool. But anyways, that's not what I'm on about. Yeah, as an apology for slandering a game that I didn't actually know anything about until yesterday, let's take a look at the trailer, right? Now, unfortunately, I am gonna actually have to skip forward through the trailer, because the first scene, like the first 50 seconds of it, if you hear me clicking, by the way, that's because I have the actual file for the trailer up on my computer and I'm kind of skimming through it. Yeah, like the first 50 odd seconds of it is like a man and a woman doing the devil's tango, because I know YouTube won't let me say the actual word of what they're doing. I will point out though that the guy partaking in the devil's tango actually has a tattoo on his back that says Hellraisers, and that's really funny to me. To me, that implies that he's part of some kind of biker gang, and I think that's really ironic that a dude who's part of a biker gang called the Hellraisers is meeting the Hellraiser. But yeah, the idea behind the game is that the woman in this relationship, fiddles around, messes around with the box. As a result, is taken away by Pinhead and his little entourage, and now the guy has to go find her. I would also like to mention that Pinhead is actually being portrayed by his original actor from, the original film, which explains to me why it was taken away from Dead by Daylight. Though not fully. That's the thing. I was under the presumption, when we got the game revealed, I was under the presumption it was because, obviously, it would be a multiplayer game and they were using his likeness in that. But it's not. It's a single-player game. So why was he removed? I'm kind of missing the correlation between the two. I'm not sure why Pinhead was removed for this game, because this game's a single player game. I mean, his license can be in 2 things at once, right? Or am I silly? Or is this another franchise that actually has a bunch of like weird copyright ownership clashing behind the scenes that I just don't know of? You know what? Considering how often that pops up in horror, I would not be surprised in any way, shape or form. But anyways, past the minute of cinematics, we do get a little glimpse at gameplay, and oh my god, he's holding the box. I would like to also mention, I said it in the Hellraiser, the Pinhead video, the Dead by Daylight one, I'm not very familiar with Hellraiser. Outside of watching like dead meat kill counts, I don't really know much about it. However, as I said, this does look very Outlasty. I don't know how to explain it. It's probably the griminess. It looks like if you just took the scientific world of Outlast and turned it into the occult. Like, you just swapped it. But even then, in Outlast 2, it's very occult-esque. So, yeah. It's like if you merged Outlast 1 and 2 into one. Or Trials. Yeah, it's just aesthetically, so far, it feels like they're mixing, like, multiple Outlast games into one. There's also a club with a bunch of chains hanging from the ceiling. That's probably going to be fun. I'm sure someone would have fun. And there's a bit where you have to, like, rummage through some dude's body. I think I can see the box in there, maybe? And, oh yeah, the Chatterer. He actually seems to be some sort of, like, character that follows you around like a stalker-esque enemy. And I think that's actually a really good choice for an enemy to follow you around because of his, you know, his unique quirk. You're going to know where he is a lot of the time. And just hearing that, if this is done well, the sound of his chattering teeth will be enough to scare you, which should be really, really fun. This game just looks really good. It does look like you can fight back as well, which, I mean, awesome. You can also use the box to take people's heads off. There's this weird, freaky thing that's trying to chop you up. Chatterer does have a jump scare kill thing. Yeah, like, this game does look really good. But now I'm wondering, why was he taken out of Dead by Daylight again? Words. Wow, they're really, really difficult. I had to cut myself off there. I was about to sneeze. I don't think any of you want to hear my explosive sneeze. Anyways, yeah, I'm just not sure why the hell, like, Pinhead was removed from Dead by Daylight. If it wasn't for this, what was it for? Anyways, this game does look very good, and as I said, this is an apology video. I apologize to Saber Interactive for I have no idea what just happened there. This video is cursed. I actually think Hellraiser, Mr. Pinhead himself, is coming for me. As I was recording and speaking, my Audacity just, like, suddenly shat itself. It just didn't want to record me speaking anymore. Okay, this video is cursed. I am very, to the lords above, I am very sorry, Mr. Pinhead, for doubting your game, for doubting all of your your prowess. This is an apology video at the end of the day, and I do need to apologise to Saber Interactive for sort of slandering their game and having absolutely no faith in it and being super pessimistic before we even knew anything about it, right? But I don't have much more to say besides that. This is just a funny little apology video that I need to put out. I hope you've enjoyed my incoherent rambles and the weird cursed effect of this video. I don't know why I've had so many troubles trying to record this. Something's out there. It's trying to get me. If you hear chains flying around and stuff in a minute, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, I hope you have a good evening, afternoon, morning, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And we'll be back to your regular? That was like regular and scheduled in one word. Regularly scheduled programming when I make my video on the Dead by Daylight killer known as the Artist.